Steve in Waltham Abbey.
Hello,
Do you know, I was getting... Hi,
Hello,
Stevie.
Ash, how you going?
Well, we were getting very relaxed, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, very relaxed.
Actually, can I call you King of the Airways, James, by the way?
You most certainly can.
And that. And Ash can be your queen.
I think the other way around would be more apt.
Yes.
Anyway, James, what I called you about is...
His Majesty. Call me His Majesty, and you can call him Her
HRH.
Majesty. He's more like the Queen Mother. He looks more like the Queen Mother, to be honest.
There's nothing wrong with that. She's very well turned out.
Yeah, that's what I bet. You know, yeah.
No, James, what I rung about is when you're talking about the top civil servants and the gravy train, when you come the top echelons of the civil service, you're entitled to, when you have a family and your children, to be privately educated by taxpayers' money as well on top of that.
Really?
As well.
But I mean, what level of civil servant?
Hang on, I didn't know you were.
Yeah, you can, yeah, they can get that. They can get that as well. Top civil servants get a really good job. Their children are entitled to take private education.
That's part of the package.
Will pay for it as well.
And I bet it's a good private school. I bet it's like Eton or something.
But hang on, who's paying for that? Us.
Yeah, we'll be paying for it.
And so if you become a civil servant, you are automatically allowed to send your children to a good top private school.
Yeah, the top echelon, the top civil service. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they're entitled to private education for their children. And that way the conveyor belt of that certain type of people continues to carry on to fulfil them jobs.
Like a closed shop.
Yeah, of course it is. Ash, you speak so much truth.
Oh, shush,
Yeah, no,
Stevie,
right, yeah,
shush,
you're right, yeah.
Stevie.
No, you're right. No,
He's the Queen, remember?
Now you put it like that, you're right.
No, but it is, though. It's a gravy train. It really is. It is unbelievable. And the £1 billion...
Hang on, let's stop a minute. I have never heard that. Can somebody check that out?
Yeah,
Reece,
£1 billion.
Producer Reece, check it out.
Honestly, James, the top echelons of top civil service...
Not every civil servant, but the top.
No, the top
Right.
ones, yeah.
But the real top ones are all get privately educated for their children. And that.
Not that surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look it up. Oh, honestly, James, I'm not telling you a lie. I read it before somewhere else, or somewhere like at the top civil servants, like of departments and what work in the bureaus in different countries and stuff like that. All their children get privately educated.
I find that very, very... hang on. Privately educated... Is that your phone?
No.
Yeah, because mine's turned off.
I haven't got my phone.
Privately educated pupils are increasingly more likely to be accepted onto a prestigious civil service scheme than comprehensive students, government figures have revealed. That doesn't say that every top civil servant gets to send their children to a public school free. It just says that those kids have been to public school, they're more likely to be accepted to a prestigious civil service scheme.
I believe him, though.
Why don't we test it?
If honestly, James, you do your diligence, and honestly, I read it quite a while ago. I read about it, and I've had other certain commentators mention about it as well, about what it entails, and like I say, what happens.
Yeah.
You think £1 billion of that money? Because I listened to it the start of your programme and what you were saying and that, and then when you look on here about the people at Grenfell and all the stuff that's going on there and stuff like that, and we're just giving out £300,000 just at the snap of fingers and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'd like to forget that for a moment. It's muddying the waters. Let's talk about the civil service for a moment. Yeah. And you're telling me that every top civil servant gets to send their child to a public school that we pay for. I'm not sure I believe that, I'm afraid. But let's see if we can find out, Stevie.
Find out. And also, I must say, James, I feel so sorry for Priti Patel, our Home Secretary.
So do I.
She's trying to sort stuff out.
Yeah.
Again, it's that certain breed of civil servant and that smearing her name.
Listen, Steve, here's the thing. There are a lot of civil servants and there are lots of political advisors behind the scenes who brief the media all the time in negative ways about particular cabinet members. And somebody somewhere, because it's very unusual indeed, for the Secret Service to come out like MI5 have and say that there is absolutely nothing in what has been told to the press. So somebody somewhere, for some reason, thinks it's perfectly all right to start... what do they call it when they leak information? They call it something else. I've forgotten exactly what they do call it. But anyway, they think it's absolutely fine to do that, and I don't. And I actually think those people who leak information to the media, who are employed by us in Parliament, and they actually leak information that is detrimental to our government carrying on its business, like what they've said about Priti Patel. I think they should be dragged out in public and given a thorough good flogging. Sorry, I've got over the top. I'm so sorry. Can I apologise to all the wokey listeners? I'm so sorry. That was just me losing my temper, but I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that.
James, that's what Mr. Dominic Cummings, is coming to stop all this leaking to the press.
Yeah.
Look what happened with Theresa May.
Yeah.
Even her own cabinet were leaking this when she comes out and says this. Then another cabinet member would leak that. That has all got to stop.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I actually think Dominic Cummings is a man that we should be very grateful that our Prime Minister has as an advisor.
Yes, because he's out of that circle. He can see what's going on in the circle with all the top civil servants, and he's telling it how it is. That's a lot of what's going wrong with this country, all this wokeness. You tell it how you see it.
Exactly, because, we're beginning to get a really stupid nation. Oh, we can't do anything, you bullied me. If I turn around to Ash and say, just get yourself lost, Ash. You're a useless lump of flesh. Get out of the studio.
And if I then hurt James, I get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, James, you said about Cambridge. I go to Cambridge quite a lot. I've got a cousin in Cambridge. The other week, Cambridge University wouldn't even have soldiers.
Yeah, we talked about that.
On their ground.
I found out your story is correct, by the way. The 2008 Telegraph, taxpayers fund private education. Government officials and members of the armed forces, when they're posted abroad, they sometimes get their education for their kids paid for up to $7,500 per term.
The interesting word there is sometimes. But I'd like to know how you got it before Reese, our producer, got it.
It's 118.
James, I'm always up for doing some work for you, mate. I do loads of research.
Oh, no, hang on. Reese has got it, but he hadn't put it on the screen yet. He hadn't put it on the screen. He's holding his computer up and saying, I got it. Listen,
right, though. I am right, though.
You're right, Stevie. You're right. Thank you very much indeed. This is what it says. The taxpayer is spending more than £15 million a year to send the children of British diplomats and military officers to private schools such as Fettes, Winchester, Rodine and Marlborough. That's back in 2010, and it may well be because some of those children are terrorist targets, okay? And so, therefore, that will be a secure place to send them, I suppose. I don't know. But I'm not really bothered about that. What I'm bothered about is the leaking of stories about government ministers that have no factual side at all, just to make trouble because the people who leaked them feel more sympathetic to the opposition. And I think those people, for telling those lies, and the journalists will say, oh, well, I'm sorry, we can't reveal our sources. That's appalling, and that needs to be
She's just
stopped.
stirred up a bit, and they're just trying to get control back, aren't they?
Yeah.